So Saturday night at Capital One Arena against the Tampa Bay Lightning was Hockey Fights Cancer night. And so because of that, I would like to dedicate this video to my mom and my stepdad, who we lost back to back to this horrible disease a few years ago. Anyone who has ever been affected by cancer, either directly or indirectly, knows that cancer always seems to attack the best people. Both my mom and my stepdad were such amazing people, amazing human beings, that they both should have been given the opportunity to live until 100 years of age. Taken far too young and far too quickly, a story that I know is all too familiar to far too many people. And that's what cancer does, right? It can ruin your whole life in just an instant, as it did with us. And it was actually my mom who wanted me to start doing hockey content. She would always say, this is what you should be doing. You are good at it, you love it, it makes you smile. This is what you should be doing. So that is largely what keeps me going and keeps me making videos here, even when I don't feel like it. Even when the Caps have just played a terrible game, or when I'm in a bad mood for whatever other reason or whatever, that is what keeps me going, is my mom's voice in my head telling me this is what you should be doing. This is what you were supposed to be doing. So Mom, this one is for you. They are all for you. We miss you, we love you, and we think about you every single day. And my stepdad, Charlie, or Chuckles as we would affectionately call him, we miss you, we love you, and we think about you every single day. And for anyone out there who is battling cancer themselves, or who has a loved one who is battling cancer, or God forbid, has lost a loved one to cancer, this one is for you too. Stay strong. You will make it through this. We love you. We support you. And someday this awful disease will be no more. And on that note, I am going to put a link in the description down below to the V Foundation, where if you like, you can donate on behalf of Hockey Fights Cancer Month here, all throughout the month of November, but anytime really as well. You can always make these donations throughout the season and throughout the year to help, like I said, with Hockey Fights Cancer for everyone who needs it. So very important. If you have the means, link will be in the description below, like I said, to the V Foundation. Now, we do have a hockey game to get into here too, but yeah, I just thought that that was more important, far more important to mention off the top there. Hockey Fights Cancer Month on behalf of everyone out there, like I said, who is battling, has battled, or even has lost anyone who they love to cancer. So that is way more important than the sport that we all love, that being hockey, of course. But yeah, we do have a game to talk about here as well between the Washington Capitals and the Tampa Bay Lightning. So let's get into it, babes. Because Caps, no, they lose. 5-3 to the Tampa Bay Lightning, despite the fact that they outshot the Lightning 34-16. And in fact, they outshot the Tampa Bay Lightning in all three periods, 9-6 in the first period, 11-4 in the second period, and then 14-6 in the third period. It was another night where special teams lets the Washington Capitals down. Stop me if you have heard that one before this season. My goodness, folks, not only did they go 0-for-6 on their own power play, 0-for-6. I can't even fit that all on one freaking hand, okay? 0-for-6 on their own power play were the Washington Capitals. But in addition to that, not only do they give the Tampa Bay Lightning a power play goal on one of their three opportunities, okay? So the Lightning 1-for-3 on their own power play, which means that the Capitals' penalty kill, again, was just 2-for-3, just 66.67%. Again, terrible numbers for the penalty kill so far this season. But the cherry on top, really, was that they as well, on top of, like I said, going 0-for-6 on their power play, on top of giving up a power play goal to the Tampa Bay Lightning, the cherry on top, folks, was that they also gave up a short-handed goal against as well. So you have double the power plays that the other team gets, right? Which you deserved, by the way. Like, the Capitals earned every single one of those power plays. They were heavily outplaying the Lightning at 5-on-5. So certainly they earned those power play opportunities for themselves. All 6 of them, right? They deserved those power play opportunities. But you get twice as many power play opportunities as the opposition. You piss away every single one of them. And then on top of that, like I said, not only you give them a power play goal, but you give them a shorthanded goal as well. So despite having double the power play opportunities that the Tampa Bay Lightning did in this hockey game, the Caps special teams, again, were -2, right? Power play goal against, shorthanded goal against. So -2 on special teams. And if you notice, hey, that's the difference in the game here, right? Because it is a 2-goal hockey game at the end of the night. Those 2 goals on special teams being the difference again here in this game. And yeah, I mean, to be fair to the Caps skaters, Logan Thompson didn't exactly have a banner night in the crease for the Washington Capitals either, right? He actually let in 4 of the Tampa Bay Lightning's first 6 shots on net in this hockey game. So that is obviously absolutely brutal. I wouldn't say that any of them were like bad goals, but I mean, anytime that you let in 4 of the first 6 shots, that's not going to be a very good night. So yeah, he gets yanked. Logan Thompson does. Charlie Lindgren comes into this game. And yeah, at the end of the first period, the Washington Capitals are down 4-1, despite the fact that they are out shooting the Lightning 9-6 through the game's first 20 minutes. So I don't think that we necessarily need to go through this one like goal by goal here for the Washington Capitals. Justin Sordoff, he scored the first goal of the game for the Caps. Jacob Chikrin scored again for the Caps as well. And then Ethan Frank gets another one as well for the Washington Capitals to pull them within 4-3 to make it close there at the end. The Caps almost did come back in this game. But yeah, like I said, I don't think we need to necessarily go through this one like goal by goal and break it all down here tonight. It did suck though, because after being down 4-1 after that first period, they were really, really close actually to tying this game up here. Alex Ovechkin in particular, he ripped one off of the crossbar when the Lightning were up 4-3 in the third period. So that was the tie game right there. Alex Ovechkin rips it off of the crossbar. So close, right? Not only to being a tie game for the Caps, but that as well would have given, had Alex Ovechkin scored there, that would have given him sole possession now of that NHL record for the longest game goal streak by a player 40 years or older. Sole possession, right? As he had scored in 4 straight games coming into this game here tonight against the Tampa Bay Lightning. That had already tied the NHL record. He tied Jaromir Jagr with the longest goal streak by a player age 40 plus, right? With 4 straight games. So tonight, had that puck gone in there for him, or any of his other opportunities as well, he was creating all night long. Had any of those gone in for him, including, like I said, that crossbar in the third period that would have tied this game up for the Caps, that would have been 5 straight games with a goal for him, and that would have given him sole possession of that NHL record for the longest goal streak, a player age 40 plus, like I said. But as it is, babes, he tied Jaromir Jagr, like I said, for that NHL record. So he now at least shares that NHL record with the great Jaromir Jagr. I mean, you always want him, Ovi that is, to have sole possession of any and every NHL record, right? But yeah, I mean, anytime that you were tied with a name like Jaromir Jagr or Wayne Gretzky or Mario Lemieux or any of these guys, right? It is not the worst thing in the world. Let's just say that. And hey, this was only game 22 of the regular season here this season for the Washington Capitals. So there's plenty of time still left here, right, for Alex Ovechkin. 60 more games, in fact. So I would say that there's probably a pretty good chance that he might end up breaking that record anyway by scoring in 5 straight games at some point later here this season. Certainly the way that he has looked these last few weeks here now, he has really picked up his game and the pucks are going in the back of the net for him now. So yeah, I would say pretty good chance that we might see that NHL record taken over by him, sole possession of that record, that is, that we might see that taken over by him anyway at some point later here this season. But as it is, for now, tied with Jaromir Jagr, the most straight games scored in by a player age 40 plus. I almost forgot to mention as well, 6'9" goon who is literally only there to fight for the Tampa Bay Lightning, that being Curtis Douglas. He comes onto the ice here in this game, one of his rare shifts in a hockey game in general, not just this game, but any hockey game. Like I said, literally only there to fight, that being Curtis Douglas. Skates out there for one of his rare shifts here in this game and heads straight on over to Tom Wilson and takes an instigator penalty, trying to goad Tom Wilson into a fight there. Takes an instigator penalty just to literally get his ass handed to him by Tom Wilson. Like, literally ass kicked, okay? Which is really funny because Douglas, like I said, jumped Wilson before Wilson was ready to fight, which is why he got the instigator penalty. But Wilson recovered, got his gloves off, and proceeded to absolutely destroy Curtis Douglas. Punched him right back into the AHL, if you ask me. So yeah, that was a highlight of this game for sure. Tom Wilson, stone cold killer out there over the 6'9" Curtis Douglas, the AHL tough guy, who the Tampa Bay Lightning, many believe, called up just to be there when they face teams like the Florida Panthers in the Stanley Cup playoffs, right? So Wilson handles him pretty easily, and that was definitely a highlight of this game. But yeah, ultimately here, Babes special teams sinks the Caps yet again tonight, and they end up losing by a 5-3 final score. So like I said, 5-3 final score, it's a 2-goal game, and so ultimately those 2 goals scored by the Tampa Bay Lightning or given up by the Washington Capitals, however you like to look at it, those 2 goals on special teams scored by the Tampa Bay Lightning end up being the difference here in this hockey game yet again. Like I said, this is a trend here that has become far too frequent, far too common here for the Washington Capitals, is that they are pissing away a ton of standings points here due to special teams. We will talk about this more on the podcast here this week, but yeah, man up, man down. It has not been pretty so far this season for the Washington Capitals. All right, babes, that is going to be it for this one. Thank you all so much for watching. As always, I appreciate all of you fine folks so much. Having a blast here this season doing these videos and chatting Washington Capitals hockey with you all. So thank you all again so much for watching. Like I said, I appreciate each and every single one of you. For the Washington Capitals, their next game will be at home against the Columbus Blue Jackets this time. That will come up on Monday night. So again, home game against the Columbus Blue Jackets on Monday night. That will be the Caps' next game. They then play again against, I believe it is the Winnipeg Jets on Wednesday before American Thanksgiving there. And then they return after Thanksgiving with another home game against the Toronto Maple Leafs. So 3-game slate here for the Caps during this week, this Monday to Friday, right? Thanksgiving week down there in the States. Happy early Thanksgiving to all of you guys down there. I will try to remember to say that again during the videos that are actually around the actual Thanksgiving there. But yeah, in case I forget, happy early Thanksgiving down there to all of you fine folks. So babes, as always, it has been a blast, like I said. Yeah, thank you all so much for watching. And again, babes, link in the description down below to donate to the V Foundation to help fight cancer. Very important, right? Like I said, if you have the means, if you can afford it, click on that link in the description below and go make a donation there. The fight against cancer is a fight that we all must fight, right? We all have to help each other out. So again, if you can afford it, click on that link down there in the description below and head on over there to the V Foundation's page and make a donation there. Every little bit counts, right? And yeah, babes, we will talk to you all after that game Monday night against the Columbus Blue Jackets. Until next time, and as always, baby, thank you all so much for being here. Like I said, as always, baby, let's go, Caps.